Hey gardeners, Lindsay here with the Mindful Living Movement, and there is always one thing that plagues every single gardener all season to varying degrees, and that is weeds. There is just no way around it. It's part of nature. We got to just figure out ways that we can sort of get ahead or lessen the amount of weeding that we need to do. And today I want to talk about the concept of a stale weed bed. It's something that is incredibly effective. It's super easy and it's really not used all that much, but it's definitely something that I've been applying over the last few seasons, particularly the more and more that I work with season extension and low tunnels. Because I'm out in the garden so much sooner, it's sort of just like a natural next piece of the puzzle. Now, if you want to find out my full 9, we'll call it pre-season gardening tips, check out the link here or in the description as well, so you can find out the full video of where I put my stale weed bed into sort of my prep for the season. That just helps me, make everything easier and more efficient and with a lot less effort. So let's dive right in. Now, as you can see here, I've still got my low tunnel set up, and I actually have a pretty good sized chunk. You might be able to see my little onions behind me here. I've got a chunk from about here all the way right to the end, where this is just open and empty. I haven't actually seeded anything or transplanted anything into this, and you probably can see that there is little green things sprouting all over the place, and this is on purpose. I have been watering this middle section just as much as I have been watering all the rest of it that actually has transplants and seeds direct sown in it. And the reason that I'm watering this patch of dirt, even though I have not actually planted anything for the most part that I want to have growing here, is because I actually am trying to sprout the weeds. What a stale weed bed basically means, it's sort of like you're almost pretending that you want to bring it to life, but then you let it go stale in the sense that you're going to eventually just clean off whatever life has sprouted from it. So some of the things that are in here are actually calendula, which I let seed itself into my garden, and then part of using sort of the stale weed bag technique, it allows me to sprout all those calendula well ahead of maybe when I would be wanting to get my carrots or my beets or whatever to germinate, so that I can see where they are. So I can even see that I've got there's a big clump over there, and I've got a few kind of hiding over here. So I can kind of see how they're distributed, and I can decide, do I want to leave that there based on what my plan is for the season? Do I want to transplant them to somewhere else? But it doesn't cloud my seeds actually sprouting. It sort of gives me like an extra head start on the whole season. So I am literally just watering my dirt way ahead of time. If you can, try and give yourself about 2 to 3 weeks of watering just your dirt before you actually go to transplant in your starter plants or before you direct sow your seeds. Now, the reason that you want about 2 to 3 weeks is because if it's a cooler start to the spring, it's going to take a little bit longer for certain seeds to germinate, and 3 weeks is usually a good window that most are going to have sprouted. If you can give even longer, maybe a month, if you have that lead time in your season, go for it. This has definitely been probably about a month or so that I have been watering this, so it's actually had a pretty solid length of time, and I've actually weeded out once already, and I'm just kind of letting the calendula stay for now until I get ready to put all of the other things into my garden bed here. And the fun thing though is when you sort of incorporate a low tunnel in with the stale seed bed technique, is this helps worm the soil, so you do get a little bit of a boost. Warmer soil just usually means that your seeds are going to sprout a little bit quicker for you. So try it out if you have the space and time from when your snow melts at the earliest part of the season to when you're officially going to start sticking things in the ground. Just water your dirt. If you're maybe not dealing with a drought situation, or you're on a well or something, you have a good source of water, you don't need to completely saturate and deeply get water into the soil. You really only need to worry about the top couple of inches. The other spots in this bed where I actually have plants going, I'm watering that much more thoroughly than I am here. I'm just trying to get that top surface wet to sprout my seeds. So I hope that helps. If you are interested in learning more about my spring season prep or just gardening tips in general, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you appreciated this video and you found it helpful, hit that like button as well. And if you've ever used a stale weed bed technique in your garden, drop in the comments what that time frame is that you usually like to give for lead time before you actually start direct sowing or transplanting. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and we will see you again, gardener.